Ebe ọma na-ege ntị, anyị ekenekwa unu n'ụbọchị nke taata. Ụbọchị nke taa dị anyị na mma. Anyị adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru otu a ka ọ ya dịrịrị. Ise ise ise. Anyị sọ ya dịrị anyị mma na Eke, dịrị anyị mma na Orie, dịrị anyị mma na Afọ, tụkwazịrị anyị mma na Nkwọ. Ụzọ ahịa anọ nke ndị Igbo ji biri na ọ ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Ise. Anyị sịkwa ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ, ma mmiri atara ma azụ emela gịnị ma azụ anwụra. Daalụ dị na nke bụ Igbo ọma na-ege ntị n'ụbọchị nke taa ka isi wee na-esonyere anyị na Igbo Media gbasịta maka nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa anyị na-ewetara unu kwa mgbe n'iru akwụkwọ. Ọ bụ na nke a bụ mgbasa izi gị ị na-esonyere anyị, kabalụ ka ị join anyị ka ị napụ ime isi for update dịgasị na-ewetara unu ya n'Igbo Media gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo a anyị nọ n'ime ya. Ọnụrụ si mee gịnị ya kọrọ nwanne ya. Dịka unu na-eji ke ihe ugbu anyị wetara unu unu ga-esi ebe ife unu adrọpụra ya ọnụ kọmentị ifu nche gbasịta maka ihe ndị a niile nọ n'iru akwụkwọ dị oke mkpa. All right, over to you.
Now, the Igbos are no longer landlocked. The Igbos that they told you for years that they are landlocked, even when the reality, even when the map says otherwise, the Fulanis redrew the map of Nigeria to put the Igbos in the middle, cut the Igbos and make them minority in many of your states, in southern and even the middle belt part of Nigeria, as far as Benue State, Kogi. Now, they did all of this with the intention of ruling Nigeria in perpetuity. And the Igbos, they will never have the chance of saying they want to break up of Nigeria. Now, the Igbos are not the ones who are now pushing it at the national level right now, if you have any country at all. So the news of regional system hits them so hard, and they have reacted pretty much like, the same. And some of them are now saying that Tifnumbu deceived them, that Tifnumbu has a plan. In fact, they are already putting together a delegate from northern Nigeria to go and see Tifnumbu so that he can reassure them that there is no plan to push for regionalism. Here is something you should know that is triggering all of this. They are not false alarms. They are real alarms. And they are good. This is good that it is happening now. Okay? So, pay attention. At first, whatever the calculation was that made them believe that Tifnumbu, who said his priority was to return Nigeria back to anthem. Sorry about that break, I think it's the network acting up. Let me take a look. Just a quick one to be sure that everything is fine. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we are all good. Right. Tifnumbu that did not consult with anyone at all, as it is the case whenever you are trying to amend a constitution. Now, you can raise a bill, about anything in Nigeria Senate, but that bill you are about to raise, it must be investigated that there is no law that is existing before that your bill. Now, if there is any law that is existing before that your bill, what you will now propose is going to be a bill to amend that law, that section of the law, okay? So if you succeed, right, your new proposal will now be copied and pasted, replaced with the one you are changing. So that will now be the one they will be quoting, okay? Now, Nigerians were never consulted when they were writing this Decree 24. 1999 Constitution. No consultation, no referendum conducted, no public hearing, nothing. So it was the creation of the military and few guys. Now, Tifnumbu, who is supposed to be a democratic government, right? He wanted to change the national anthem. But the process of changing the national anthem of Nigeria means you have to change the constitution You have to amend, rather, you have to amend the constitution. Okay? So then what you do is that you raise a bill like they did at the National Assembly. Once the Rep and the Senate, once they pass it like they did, then they will forward it to all of the states in Nigeria. So the state assemblies. Now, the state assemblies would also have to vote on it. They will pass it. Once the 2/3 of them pass it, right? That is 24 states, right? They will now send it back to the National Assembly. That moment, somebody will now move a motion to amend that section of the Constitution, the national anthem. So once they now pass that, but before it gets to, as it gets to all of the states, by the way, they must have put up what is called the public hearing, which means all of you will go there and go and say your mind, or you go and hear their reason for why they want to return you back to the old anthem and all of that stuff. Okay? So once you satisfy and all of that, you will now reach out to your representatives to support it or to be against it. Now, if they now vote National Assembly, they now pass it. Okay? That means the National Assembly have done their own public hearing. So that's when they will now send it to the states. When the states now get to the states, all of you who are in different states in Nigeria, then the state assembly will now announce that you should come more. There's an amendment conversation that is going to take place about the national anthem. So everybody in their different states, they will go to the state assembly, okay, to go and listen and hear their own view. If they support it or against it, they will tell their representatives and their assembly members to vote for it or against it. Now, if 24 states out of 36 states in Nigeria say yes, change the national anthem, that has passed. So they will now send it back to the National Assembly. National Assembly will now vote and move a motion to pass it and change it. And then they will now send it to the president. The president will then consult again and say, does this come back as we wanted it? Yeah, he did. He will now sign it. So a president can raise a bill, since Tinubu said that was his own priority. He wanted it, Abi. So he will raise an executive bill, send it to the National Assembly. Okay? So they didn't do all of this. Okoyemi Bamidele he was the one who brought it into the National Assembly. The moment they voted on it, and some of them said no, the Highs still had it. So once the Highs have it, right, they send it to Tinubu to sign it, and they said everybody should start singing it. That is not how to pass law. Now, some of them from northern Nigeria, these northern influencers on social media, they actually supported it. Not all of them. Yes, the old anthem is going to bring unity. It's going to shake Kiniko. They ignored the illegality behind it. Now they are scared, hearing that an act has been developed for regional system of government, and it went viral on social media. And somehow, it is already being discussed within the old rock. It's already been discussed at the National Assembly. And some of them are beginning to feel like it is real. And because of this, it has now thrown the northern Arewa parasites into a total restlessness, kind of panic mode. Even though it hasn't been officially confirmed, right? But they are worried that this Tinubu will get anything he wants. And because they knew what happened last year, they believe that their House of Representatives, senators from northern Nigeria, with the right money, they will support it too. They may go back to their region and begin to tell them that they had no choice, they had no option, this and that. They are now panicking that if Tinubu could smuggle regional system back into Nigeria Senate and get it passed with Akpabiole and Abbas, the stooge of Tinubu, the people that were supposed to be born to rule, they are scared. I pick up few screenshots earlier. Take a look at this Almajiri. To think that some people from a region where bandits can take over entire villages, control forests, and where people pay taxes to bandits to access their farms or be allowed to live peacefully in their villages, are advocating for a regional system of government makes me sick. That's one of them. He couldn't believe it that some people in northern Nigeria are actually in support of the idea. Not that this support is more, it's well pronounced though, but it be like say the idea is spreading. And with this Tifnumbu that they now say they don't trust, he has betrayed them. They tend to kind of have been in a panic mode right now, that their people could even entertain that thought. One of them said, these people destroyed northern Nigeria. They destroy our farms. They know that northern Nigeria depends on agriculture. And the agriculture is now gone. Yeah? They are now talking about regional system. We must not agree. One of them said that Nigeria was developed with agricultural money from northern Nigeria. So now that some people now have oil, they want to break up Nigeria and destroy all of their own farms. I told you, these were the people who have this superior mentality, kind of, we are more superior than you. Nothing what you do, we are going to always rule over you. Kind of that mentality from a poor Alimajiri from somewhere in Sokoto. I'm talking about the people who usually brag of how the Igbo people are going to suffer if Nigeria should break up. And suddenly, they are now victims. The people that said Buhari must go is a threat against northern Nigeria. When thousands of people were being killed, kidnapped, and the entire economy of the northern Nigeria was being destroyed by Boko Haram, by Fulani terrorists, by ISWAP. The people that said criticizing Buhari is like an attack on northern Nigeria. The people that told you that the ban on open grazing is an attack on northern Nigeria. The same people who watched the Fulani terrorists destroy farms, who watched Boko Haram killed and destroyed farms, killed farmers and destroyed farms. The people that watches their people pay taxes to terrorists under Boko Haram, and they said a dead Boko Haram is better than anybody from southern Nigeria leading Nigeria. They watched Boko Haram pardon terrorists. They said nothing. Now they are victims. Who destroyed northern Nigeria? Hello? Who destroyed northern Nigeria? The rest of you who are not armed Boko Haram terrorists, but Islamic jihadists, killing people for saying something against your religion and justifying same, defending pedophiles, defending child rapists in the name of your religion. Same thing that the Boko Haram are doing, cutting heads off. You were there, you watched all of this happen. Now you are victims because they are talking about regional system of government. Take a look at this one. No this, no peace. The North made Tifnumbu president despite his past record. Why are you now acting like you are not aware of his agendas? Is this not what you have voted for? You don't want regional government, but you voted for a regional champion.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nnukwu unu si wee na-esore anyị na Igbo Media. Dịka unu si na-esore anyị sị na Chukwu oke abịa mapụrụ mmiri na ya gosi niile n'ofu n'ofu. Otu anyị kwuru otu a ka ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Kapakwa alụ ka itinye alụ nke gị na ihe niile nọ gbasara maka ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ ana ndị ọzọ dị iche iche kabarụ ka itinye alụ nke gị ife ichere n'ụdị nke gị gbasara maka ya bụ ife. Dịka anyị nọkwa na-echekwa olileanya na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ya pụta oge na-adịghị anya na n'ụlọ mkpọrọ, anyị sị na Chukwu oke abịa ma ga-enye ya ike nọnyere ya chekwaba ya. Mana anyị kwuru otu a ka ọ ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Thank you and also stay tuned at Eastern News 24. Ka emesịa nụ ndị be anyị.